Sure, Shannon, whatever you say.
Fine.
I'm not as young as I used to be, man. I almost tripped down the stairs.
Oh, yeah, don't do that. Don't die, Doug. Please don't die.
Hello, hello. I don't think we'll need a microphone for this.
In case you were wondering, my panel is not in here. So that's why I'm in the wrong room. Bye, guys!
If you're here for Anjali, it's actually in the vendor hall.
Sorry.
On the event stage on the far wall right over there.
The far wall, guys.
You can go through those little human doors right there, and it's kind of a shortcut. No, you're fine.
We'll relay everything to him.
I will take that as a note that I need to name the two different stages better.
If you all could like scoot together because we are expecting a full house.
Any minute now.
Check. But
Thank God we have mics. Nobody can hear us all the way in the back.
you people out in the hallway.
Come in. We're awesome. It's in the title. I was gonna say, I think it's yeah, the battle line, so we can go ahead get started here. Hello, I am Doug Walker. I work for a site called Channel Awesome, and we are on YouTube, and we do a whole bunch of shows. The one that does the best is Nostalgia Critic, which I write and act in and direct. And, I'm not done yet. So there's like 12 people here. I think they know who you are. One person's just like, oh, who's that bald guy? Hey, I hope he answers why he's bald. I just came in hoping there was a wait, is that guy bald too? Christ. It's a
massacre panel.
And just start going down this way. Who are you?
I'm Rob.
You said so sadly. Next.
I am Brad Jones, Lost Voice.
Alright, maybe he is gonna have mics then.
I know, exactly. It got worse when we were yelling at dinner with the music last night.
Yeah, we went to Dick's Last Resort. It's funny because, you know, the waiters are supposed to... It's funny because the waiters are supposed to make fun of you. Cool, we go, the music is so loud we can't hear what they're saying to us. It's like, I'm sure that was very funny, yeah!
I'm sure you insulted us. I think you got our order right. I play the Cinema Snob. You can find me at Channel Awesome and thecinemasnob.com. I run a YouTube channel as well called Stone Gremlin Productions. We do current movie reviews as well. We have an animated series called Lloyd, the animated series, and I do a show called Brad Tries, where we try a bunch of different foods. I have probably like 50 different shows. That's just a few off the top of my head.
I'm Malcolm Ray. I am a voice actor out of Chicago with Stuart Talent, and I play a variety of characters on the show Nostalgia Critic, like Devil, Carrot Juice, Black Wonka, and basically anyone that's black.
How about you? I'm Bart.
Hello. I'm Barney Walker. I play Barney Walker, and you can find me in my house in Chicago.
Hi, my name is Tamara Chambers, and I am an actress on Nostalgia Critic. Thank you. I've got 2 shows Tamara's never seen and Tamara just saw where I watch movies. The end.
And I'm assuming most of you have been
And
to...
on the far left is the Invisible Man.
Oh, that's Harvey! Say hello, Harvey. Harvey. That's the chair for Tiny Tim.
Over there is Jim in spirit.
Yes, his actual spirit. Okay, I'm assuming most of you have been to the booth. If you haven't, one of the things we do charity shout-outs at the end of our videos, and the one we're doing this week is the Lupus Research Alliance, and it's a very, very good charity. It has an A rating on Charity Watch, and actually a lot of people that came up were saying, like, yeah, I have lupus, or I know someone that has lupus, and takes on so many different forms and stuff like that. So if you drop by the booth, pictures are $20 for charity, so feel free to do that, because we are going to go to the booth a little bit afterwards. And if not, consider giving to the charity here. If not, go home and give to this charity. Or if not, just find a charity you love, because you know it's good to give. So yeah, just go ahead and keep in mind we are going to go to the booth right after this for a short bit, and after that we got to take off. So if there's anything you want signed or want to say hi or something, just go right after this, because we're probably going to take off shortly thereafter. So with that said, this is a Channel Awesome Q&A. We're here to answer your questions. Can you hear me in the back? Good. And yeah, so if you just have a question, raise your hand and we will pick you.
No, there will not be free popcorn.
I know, like, somebody better get up and leave after that if we want this joke to work. Oh my God, I forgot the game.
We also don't validate parking.
Awesome. So yeah, if you have a question, go ahead and raise your hand. This is going to be a very short panel. Yeah, right there.
A lot of people sneezing here earlier. Can we get a blessing from Santa Christ?
A blessing from Santa Christ.
Ho ho ho! E Dominus Titi Tutu de Pluvium Esta Spiritus Feliz Navidad.
His best one yet.
Yes, we'll hear from
Yeah.
I said
You do not have blue hair, good sir.
You're next, you're next.
Go ahead. That's amazing how much I can't hear that. So I'm going to come up there. I'm going to bring the microphone down to you. And you're going to say, what's that question? Can I do an impression of Mr. Speed? From which version? Any of them?
All at once.
Yeah, all at once. Oh, and maybe we can do what Rob does. Pretty good Bob Hoskins, so maybe you can do Bob Hoskins, I can do the Disney one. Okay.
So sprightly.
Good morning, Neverland! Today, we're going to have a war, a battle between good and evil.
And I just realized I can't do the Disney one. I can't do it. Captain! There you go. That's about all I can do. Well, Captain, it's nice to see you smiling again. I sound like the bum, that's the only
Look at who we have here. John Hammond just decided to join us.
Yeah, announcements. Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Didn't you say that was like your favorite?
That was my favorite character to do, that weird half Scottish accent he's got in that movie.
Oh, Mr. Thingamabob, where did you come from?
Mr. Smee, by the way, in the in the Disney Peter Pan has like him and Hook have some of the funniest slapstick ever animated with that crocodile.
Oh god, the croc stuff is great.
That's one of those like when I was trying to learn animation, I would just pause that scene and get the timing down because it's so
that
good.
guy who did the voice for Hook and those screams like, whoa! Smee! Row for the ship! Row for the ship!
Oh, it's so good. Oh yeah. Okay. We'll do another question here. I think you're up next.
Yeah.
No, not you. No, I'm kidding.
The one with the yellow hair.
The Invisible, whoever it was.
Harvey.
Yeah. My question is that I know that you're not really a fan of live-action Disney movies or the live-action Disney remakes.
Well, I like the good ones.
The ones
Disney
Disney
actually made when he was alive.
But my question is that what are your favorite remakes, or if there's any like live-action remakes that actually does something better than the original?
You mean not Disney, just remakes in general?
More like Disney live-action.
What's the best Disney live-action?
Pete's Dragon came pretty close. That one I liked a lot.
Yeah, it's apples and oranges, for which I would like better, but I thought Pete's Dragon was really solid. Yeah, and even that one, like, I had a lot of issues with, but I'm like, okay, the stuff that's good in this
Of course you did, you cranky old man.
The stuff that's good is really good, and especially when you compare it to the original. And the original's fine for just a silly little movie. I like some of the songs, but it's exactly that, a silly little movie where the remake had weight to
Doug
it.
Mickey Rooney.
Passamaquoddy. Yeah, Passamaquoddy.
Passamaquoddy.
Yes, that's probably the one for me. Well, you guys like Aladdin.
Aladdin.
Oh, yeah.
Aladdin. So good.
Yeah, Aladdin was solid for me too. I just like the attention to the detail and respect to the culture of the Middle Eastern diaspora. It's like you had like a lot of Bollywood influence. All of the actors and performers were just having an absolute blast. The dancing, the singing, and the only issue I really had with that was like Jafar and just the CGI on the genie was just a little distracting. But when Will Smith was actually there, he was good. He did perfectly fine. I liked him.
So there you go. And was there one that you liked in the live action? Have you seen any of the live action ones?
No.
Okay. All right, other question. Yes, right here.
Which of the Sylvester Stallone 90 films did you like more?
Which Sylvester Stallone 90s films do I like?
Demolition Man and
so
Judge
many.
Dredd are amazing.
Cliffhanger
was kind of fun too.
Rocky 4 just for the insanity is great.
That's an 80s film.
Oh, is it?
That's 85.
Oh, wait, what was it like 89?
Gorbachev at the end. You think that's a
wow,
90s
it's that early. Holy smokes.
Rocky 5 was 1990.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Okay.
Daylight, I like.
Daylight. I was like, what was the one with the tunnel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Judge Dredd. I love that.
I love Judge
Top
Dredd.
one.
Yeah. It's not good, but I love it.
There's something funny that Rob Schneider doing an impression of Sylvester Stallone.
To Sylvester
Stallone.
Is that coming to fork?
Yeah.
It's a fun movie.
Demolition Man is there though because it has a funny Rob Schneider, which that alone is pretty difficult to do. But it's also, I feel like it's funny. It's all these tropes that you love to see in corny '90s Sylvester Stallone movies, but it's legitimately funny. Not like, oh, that's so awkward. It's funny. It's legitimately funny, and it actually weirdly has weight to it. Like it's surprisingly more relevant now than it was when it came out.
Exactly what we're going through now.
And because it has so many of the 90s cliches in there, it does date it, but that's what the movie's about. They're from the past and they come to this current time or the future that it does have some relevance now, and it just holds up so much better now, like 10 times better than when it came out. I already liked it when it came out.
Yeah.
He stood up on the free seashells.
Yeah.
You want to give the girl who's caught halfway in a curtsy there permission to sit in a chair?
Yeah, if you want to sit in the chair, you can. Oh, okay. All right.
Seems like a design flaw.
It looks like story time now. So cool. Yes, right there. Yeah.
Two things. One's a statement, one's a question.
Okay.
The statement is, I love your guys' shows so much. There's times I can't sleep at night due to my insomnia because I have a lot of mental problems.
No, I'm sorry.
No, it's not. But it does help out a lot hearing you guys' voices because it kind of calms me down. I'm just like, okay, I can go to sleep.
Wait, I usually hear the opposite. They're like, I can't sleep with your stinking voice.
And, what type of horror movies would you recommend?
What type of, what type of horror movies do you like?
I just watch whatever, usually, whatever comes in here and now.
I like the classic 80s and 70s horror movies.
The slasher films.
Yeah, Halloween, Nightmare. I love the Nightmare on Elm Street movies because even the bad ones are wildly creative.
I used to say the more subtle one, like sort of like the Paranormal Activities and stuff like that, but weirdly we're getting a lot more of them, and they're starting to show like the flaws in them and stuff. So it's some sort of, just something that's doing something real different. And kind of inspiring with it too.
And the Sam Raimi movies, the Evil Dead trilogy.
Yeah, like those are silly, but man, they still stand out and they're just so cool and unique and amazing and stuff, so those are a lot of fun. If you want like a more psychological horror film, I'd definitely say the original Haunting is amazing. And with Haunting of Hill House being a hit, like I'm hoping more people go and find like the original movie because it is so good.
So don't watch the 1999 Jan de Bont film, by the way.
Don't watch that, no. Oh, The Descent, those were really
Descent, that was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oculus. Oculus.
Oculus, I like a lot.
Oculus is really good.
Yeah. No, it was.
There was one point when he was removing the fingernail, and that's what it was like. But
Yeah, well, there are moments where they're gonna be like, ooh, yeah. And, you know, if you're looking for a show, Haunting of Hill House is very good. Just don't watch the last episode. It's very Game of Thrones that way.
Classics too, like The Exorcist.
Yeah.
And The Exorcist 3 is a really solid film.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, yeah, the sequels suck, but the third one's really good.
Third one's actually really, really good.
I love the fact that they talk about the classic Exorcist. To me, the classic was Frankenstein, Dracula, Mummy, Invisible Man, back in the Universal days.
And honestly,
30s.
they're really good too. Yeah,
They
the
are.
Frankenstein movies are great. I just saw the original.
Especially Abbott and Costello Meet the Mummy.
Hey, they're good.
Drama.
Those are good.
You need to start with Bela Lugosi meets a Brooklyn gorilla.
Well, I actually just saw the original Dracula for the first time maybe 2 years ago, and I'm like, you know, like, shame on me, I can't believe I didn't see it, but and now I see it, I saw it on the big screen, I'm like, okay, I get it. I get why this guy was always cast as this character, because he just dominates every scene without even having to talk. I mean, he's like amazing.
And I adore Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yeah.
That movie's gorgeous.
Yeah. Keanu Reeves is amazing. I've seen many strange things already.
That's right, Count.
Do not take his name in vain.
Gary Oldman really knocks it out in that one. Wonderful.
So there you go. You have a ton. You're like trying to edit to your cue, like, you know, damn it, it's too many. So cool. Other question. Yeah, in the back with the white shirt.
Have you ever seen any Neil Brady movies? And if so, what are your thoughts?
Oh, is
Oh,
that
Tamara and I have.
Yeah, me and Brad have.
I saw a trailer. That was enough.
I went and saw Twisted Pair in the theater, and it was one of the best movie-going experiences I've ever had. Because we all showed up, and there was a line around the building, and everyone was like, "Is this line for the Neil Breen movie?" And everyone was like, "Yeah, I know, it is." Yeah, it was amazing.
There will never be a greater visionary to walk the planet. That's all I've got to say.
He's my kind of Terrence Malick. Like, 'cause the same type of things happen in his movies, yet he still maintains a level of unpredictability to them.
They're amazing. I think anybody should watch them.
Yeah.
I actually have not. I've seen a trailer. I haven't seen the movies yet. The trailers do look amazing.
For Fateful Findings, right? Is that the one you
I
saw?
think so. Yeah.
I have the government papers. The government stuff.
Yeah, the FBI things.
So yeah, so I still gotta check it out. Like, that's a reminder that I have to go check it out. So
Well, there's a
thanks.
framed picture of him at one of the booths. I was like
Oh, yeah?
walking through, and I was like, "Is he here?"
Yeah, yeah. We walked past a booth that just had this picture there.
I was like,
Like,
"Is he
okay.
gonna be here?" Because yes, but no, unfortunately.
Yes, Overwatch shirt.
Do you have any favorite book to movie adaptations?
Favorite book to movie adaptation?
Lord of the Rings. That was really solid.
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I actually love that adaptation.
Clyburn Gorin.
Yeah, that's really good.
Room 1408.
That's
King.
really good.
Yeah.
That's like one of the best King movies in my opinion. I think it's an
Yeah.
amazing movie.
Sam Jackson desperately trying not to yell.
Oh, yeah.
I told you not to go in room 1408.
Where's Waldo, the motion picture?
The Emoji Movie.
Oh,
Actually, The Nightmare Before Christmas. That was
yeah, technically, yeah. Now that you did.
Captain
Definitely not the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yeah, actually, do you have like a book to movie adaptation that you really like?
Well, yeah, but it would go way, way back, and it's the Kirk Douglas 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Oh yeah.
That's a wonderful adaptation of Jules Verne.
The Hunt for Red October.
Classic.
Oh, you're
Hunt for
right.
Red
that is
October is a
book.
really good adaptation.
Yeah, that's right. Tom Clancy. Yeah, that's an amazing soundtrack too.
Yeah.
So those are good. Let's see. Let's do a white jacket right there.
Regarding your sketches during your reviews, what did the filming of that look like? Like how the process of it all, how you guys act with each other?
We have a camera, we turn it on, and speak into it.
Yeah. How did the sketches for the nostalgia critics work in terms of filming? It just pretty much I start writing them. I usually have 2 days to write them. If it's like a clipless review for a movie coming out, I have only 1 day. So what I'll try to do, like we knew we were gonna do It. So I'll tell like Dad and Jim, you know, like, hey, I know I have this idea where the Pennywise clowns are gonna be like, you know, doing Almost Got Him. I know I want to do that. So, you know, we'll need the 2 Pennywises. Go ahead and get started on getting some outfits for that. You know, and any jokes I can think of ahead of time, I know I'm gonna do. Like, there's no way I can't do this, you know, while I'm doing this joke. I'll try to get them to get that ready. But usually it's like, yeah, I'll sort of call ahead of time, particularly the gym, and I'll just be like, I have this idea. Is it possible to make this prop ready in that time and stuff? And 9 out of 10, he says yes.
I need a complete working model of the town of Derry by tomorrow.
Need the miniature town from Beetlejuice.
But it depends too, because like sometimes we'll just green screen a lot of stuff, and then we've got like sort of preset or pre-built sets basically. Like we've got a brick wall like back alley set we used a couple times.
Yeah.
The spaceship set we use a lot. We're doing Alien 3 next, and we used a lot of that, so that was fun.
Yeah, it's one of those things now where because we have a new studio too, we have a lot more space. It's like, okay, if we can use the set, I'd rather do that than green screen, but sometimes it's like, we just don't have the time, so like we're gonna do, you know, green screen. Yeah, it just kind of depends on what we're doing. If it's a green screen, it's usually easier, you know, but it's like, if I can have it kind of there, you know, I prefer to do that. So, yeah, there you go. Blue shirt.
What was it like working with Dante Bosco on the last Airbender episode?
That dude's amazing.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. No, Dante Bosco is like, you see him in interviews, he's so laid back, and man, it's just so cool.
In real life, he's a monster. No, he's like one of the coolest guys like we've ever met. He just like is some weird wandering LA Zen poet warrior. He's like a bard.
Yeah. No, one of the things I like about him too that I wish I was good at, I'm trying to get better, but he's so good at starting up a conversation from nothing. So he really, like, he legitimately wants to know everything about you. Like, if he saw your shirt, it's like, oh, lettuce, what's that?
What's the significance of that? I like that, lettuce.
Yeah.
What's that about?
He'd be like, oh, it's from, would you say, like, Avengers or something like that? Yeah, if anywhere, it's just like, you know, oh, wow, yeah, what'd you think of that? And you tell him just like, yeah, that's so cool. Have you been looking forward to that movie? That's cool. Now, what made you want to get that shirt? Yeah, I want to know more about you, man.
And what was, you know, interesting about that movie is there's a whole spiritual aspect to that movie.
Yeah.
That I don't think it's talked about much, but how we're all interconnected. You know, you get it, it's like one universe. It goes off on this, like,
Philosophical tangent. It's like, dude, you're deep. He's amazing.
The one kind of funny story I have about him is that I told him ahead of time, like, you know, we're gonna have to shoot because we have this Barnes & Noble, but we have to shoot before they open, and so we have to shoot at like 4 a.m. something like that in the morning. And he really wanted to play poker the night before. We all like to play poker, so he was like, yeah, okay, we can set this up. Like, I think everyone could get together like 8 or something like that. So we're playing, and we're just doing kind of a tournament thing. And I'm like one of the last 3, so I throw the game because I know it's getting late. We have to get up early.
Yeah, sure, that was it.
I don't want him to be like, you know, oh man, we've been able to get up and Doug didn't try to win or whatever. So I threw the game, and he kept going. And I'm saying, like, dude, you know we gotta get up at 4 a.m. and stuff. I shoot you not. He's like, no, it's for the honor. It's for the honor. Honor. And he did win.
Yeah, and then everybody at the table was like, this game was going great until the Fire Nation attacked.
And what was funny, everybody there was really cool and smooth. They just treated him like he was one of the guys. And right as soon as he was about to leave, everyone brought out their hook VHS. Can you sign this? Can I get a picture? Can you sign it?
can you say you are the pan?
So it's super cool guy, like uber cool. All right, another one here. Let's do blonde hair with the hat.
Who has been your favorite character you've played in a skit if you played a character before?
Favorite character that we played in a skit, for me, it's gotta be Double Boner. That's the guy I will never be. So I love playing.
I do like the chart guys a lot, but my absolute favorite was the one time I got to play Ralph Bakshi, because that guy's such a hero to me, and he's got such a very specific voice and just way of acting. So
Just to be able to talk like this, they a family picture.
And that is where we got that line from, a family.
yeah,
that
that
came Wizards.
Yeah, that whole family picture thing came from on the commentary for Wizards, which has like Nazi propaganda footage and like topless like fairies and all this stuff that's really like inappropriate. He talks on the commentary. He's like,
Oh, he's wanted to make a kid or a movie for, you know, the kiddies, like, you know, something that can bring everybody together, you know, kind of a family picture.
and there's like just this naked fairy right on screen as he's saying this. I'm like, yeah, this is a real family picture. Yeah, he says it like 4 times in the commentary, you know, and again he kind of says family picture. So we just started doing that knowing nobody will get it, but we're like, yeah, let's just do it. And then when we actually did Ralph Bakshi, he's like, well, now he's got to say, we have to actually have a Ralph Bakshi guy. And that guy's amazing. He's a total hero of mine. Well, what about you?
Harrison Ford. Anytime I get to play Harrison Ford, it's great. Especially like when it's when we did the Force Awakens video, and it starts out we're redoing the holiday special, and I got to do the. I know it's an important day. I'm like, this is a day being able to not only quote Ford and like do the Ford voice and everything, but in like this holiday special sketch. That's yeah. Anytime I get to do that, I have a great time.
How about you, Malcolm?
It's always a toss-up between the devil and the Channel Awesome version of myself, because it's just fun to see how Doug writes us, like his like characterization of us. That's always fun. But I find myself getting more into playing Carrot Juice, because it's just like a wacky character. It's like a mixture between like Beetlejuice and like Seth Rogen. It's
you know what? I totally see that too. Now that you mention it. Yeah. What? I don't saw Beetlejuice in that character. What? Not at all. How about you, Tamara?
So I really love playing the badass characters like Curiosa and Wonder Woman and the Star Wars ladies, and but my favorite forever is Hyper Fangirl. She's so much fun. The human who inspired the character of Hyper Fangirl is right here.
Yeah, that's like the real Hyper Fangirls right there.
And she's my absolute favorite. I just love her. I love how she's grown. So Doug wrote her in the script, and this is the only time I've done this. It was very shameful, but I skimmed the script. I didn't fully read it. And he was like, bring in a costume for this character, and I didn't bring anything. And if I would have made her like really cutesy and like kind of hipstery, and I'm so glad that she turned into what she is, and I just love her. And her and Devil Boner are couple goals.
I was saying we surprisingly have like some very healthy couples, it feels like, on the show with like Devil Boner and the Hyper Fangirl, with Chester A. Bum and Doe, with the Chart Guys. They all put the fun in dysfunctional. But one of these days we're going to show up the Chart Guys are a couple. Like we're going to show up there. Oh, the Chart Guys are like my favorite gay married couple that we've got. Like the proposal, I was like, will you marry me? Well, the chart says yes. You should listen to the chart. The chart is where it's at. Absolutely. What you did.
Well, everyone sort of remembers me as doing B. Arthur in the Star Wars deal. But my most fun part was in Pixels, and Doug says, here's a description of what you're going to look like. It's an army general, da 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 da. I said, what are my lines? He said, you don't have any. All you get to do is to grunt. And so we literally filmed a whole bunch of me going,
But if you've seen the movie, you know that's a very good impression. It was really just any other Tuesday at the studio.
Cool. Other questions? Let's do, got the orange hat there.
Have you ever heard of the man with the flying guillotine? If so, would you ever make it a review?
Man with the flying guillotine?
It's a 70s PC kung fu movie. Basically, the guy who's there's one move that he throws his hat on people and decapitates them.
Oh, gotcha.
He's on like a mission for revenge, but the thing is he keeps on getting the guy he's supposed to get revenge on wrong.
Brad will review it.
Kung Fu movie, Odd Job. I think I do actually have this movie in one of those like big Kung Fu movie packs that I have at home. I haven't seen it, but I'm pretty sure I got that on like a couple of the collections that I have some of the Pierre Kirby movies on.
Didn't that movie inspire Kung Lao? I feel like it did. Kung Lao is a character from Mortal Kombat.
Oh.
The hat. Yeah.
Cool. Anyway. So, no, we haven't, but we will definitely check it out. Let's see. Do blue hat.
you worked with Don Bluth a couple times. What's he like?
Working with Don Bluth.
Silently judging.
Yeah. actually, that's the funny thing.
Yeah, that's a good story to tell.
Yeah, no, I said the original line when he's looking at me, I say, oh, why, what are you doing? Why aren't you saying anything? He says, I'm quietly judging you. And they wrote a line back saying, Don is very religious. He doesn't like quietly judging anybody. And it's just like, can he just say he's going to wait and see what you do? I'm like, sure. Like, the joke still works that way. And it's one of those we've never met face to face, but like, it's always one of those things because I've made fun of his movies, so I didn't know what he thought, but when I saw the Dragon Slayer movie, like they're doing a GoFundMe or Kickstarter for it, I was like, oh my god, yeah, but get attention to this. And when I did that, it got a lot of hits, but you know, it still wasn't reaching the goal, so they contacted me and said, look, we're gonna redo this, but you know, we want to do it in a way where we can, you know, kind of get more eyes to it. Are you down for like maybe doing a video or something? Like, yes! Yeah, like a million yeses. And what happened is I was gonna be in the commercial special, but they couldn't get it up in time. They said it got delayed a week. I'm like, oh man, what are we gonna do? That's why it's to be continued. And at the last minute, we said, you know, well, can you do it in the following video? I'm like, I don't know how to work it in. I'd have to like review. It was like, well, can you review something he's done? I'm like, reviewed most things, but I want to be positive. Like, Dragon's Lair? They're like, yeah, he can do that. So that's how that overview came about, and that's why at the end when you see like Macho Man is, you know, big Dragon Slayer movie, and Segata, that's why they're in there, because originally it was supposed to be the end of that sketch, and we had to stretch it out to a week, and that review was written very quickly, because all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I guess I'm doing Dragon Slayer now, okay.
But he's done some of our favorite movies.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the ones we picked up were later in his career when the studio was really just clamping down and like, do this, do that.
Yeah. And which he talks about in the interview we did.
Yeah, so we were trying to be like, particularly when we were talking, it's like be a lot more fair to him. Because like it's easy to be like, yeah, this movie sucks, but when you hear the whole story, it's just like, well, what the hell else would it be with the studio saying like, do it like this? But his early work like still stands the test of time.
Well, and the cool thing is after we did the Dragon Slayer movie, after we did the videos, he sent me a picture of probably my favorite thing he's done, of a small one with the donkey, the boy with the donkey, and he wrote this very nice letter, and kind of openly saying, you know, I don't usually, it's like I don't show my emotions that much, I keep a little bit more reserved, but what you said about my work was so touching, and it brought like a tear to my eye and stuff, and I'm reading this like,
I walk past that picture every other day in his house, in his hallway, and just look at it with utter jealousy.
Tell them what happened when the camera screwed up.
Oh, so this, all right, yeah, so we did an interview with him, and I think we referenced this in the interview, like his camera for whatever reason kept zooming in just a little bit at a time to a point where you couldn't, all you could see is like an eye and a nose and stuff like that. But so, you know, but we did the interview live, and so when I got to that point, I said, I'm so sorry, the last question, we just can't make you out. Is there any chance you record it again? The last question, he really opens up and talks about the toughest part of like being an animator and stuff like that, and the life he's chosen. And he re-records it, and it's not nearly as poetic as now, because I mean, we spent a whole like hour like kind of wearing him down, and he opens up. So what we did, if you watch it, you'll notice that it starts off with him saying, oh, well, let me tell you about the most difficult time, and then it just cuts to nothing but pictures and references, and that's because I used the audio of the old one, because it was just so much more powerful what he said. So yeah, so it's one of those things, if it suddenly seems like, oh yeah, let me tell you about the most difficult time. It was long ago, I don't remember. You know, like, there's a big change there because the camera kept zooming in there. So yeah, sometimes editing can really save something. So cool, let's do another question here. What do we got? Let's do Gray Shirt.
So, I noticed a lot of your videos have been taken down for copyright and be re-uploaded. And work with your program has incorporated a lot of video clips and sound clips from everything. So how do you guys manage copyright issues?
Didn't know we did.
Yeah, no kidding.
How do we manage copyright?
Fight.
Yeah, a lot of it's fight, and Brandon
Day in,
be good.
day out.
Yeah, talk about this too. We try to keep the clips like under 10 seconds roughly, or which the pro of that is that it keeps the reviews tighter, which is nice.
So if it looks like it's cutting back to me a lot more than it used to be, that's not intentional. It's because we need to break up the clips. So a lot of times I think it's funnier if you just hear me saying like over the footage, but like, again, it's just, we gotta break it up. Not using a lot of copyrighted music, that's like the big thing now. Like we get hit with a lot. Even if a movie has like Angry Birds, you know, they'll have like a song in there. And like the people who made the song and be like, hey, you gotta take that down. We own the money now because you used our stuff. And they clearly didn't watch the video or anything, and we'll fight a claim. And it's gotta be a claim we know, like, hands down we could win because it is such a gray area. But it's one of those things, and it just comes in waves. Like sometimes we'll go months and months with maybe a claim, and we'll fight it as fine. And then out of nowhere we'll get like 50. You know, and we suddenly got to fight all these, and we have to do them very slowly because, you know, it could result in a strike, and you get like, you know, 3 strikes, your channel's gone, so we have to do like 2 at a time, you know, which is really frustrating. And then sometimes you got to wait like, you know, anywhere from 2 weeks to like, you know, 2 months for them to either let it time out or finally say something. So
how do you handle those musical?
Oh, well, sometimes I get a very talented artist to come in and rewrite the music. He's not here today.
Who's
but
that?
no, he'll oftentimes rewrite music like Willy Wonka or something.
Yeah,
like
I mean, it's a whole art form we've made up called decomposing music. And Doug will say, all right, we're going to need a Star Wars introduction, and I need 40 seconds. And luckily, you can use the orchestration, you can use the accompaniment for Star Wars. They can't get you, they can only get you on the melody. So we had to rewrite the melody so that everyone still says, oh, that's Star Wars, that's Willy Wonka, that's the Looney Tunes song, but it's not really. And that saved us quite a bit of fighting with people.
Yeah. How about you, Brad?
I mean, it certainly happens to you guys a little bit more than it does me. With given how you guys have a number more mainstream ones than I do. Though lately I've been getting into more of those kind of videos. So it's sort of like you said, where it all depends on the company.
You mean the producers of E.T. the porno?
Oh, yeah, I don't care.
Dumping on you.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny. You know what? You never know, because there was one third-party company that tried going after Santa Claus Visits Mother Goose and Magical Mother Goose. Yeah. Sometimes with those kind of movies, you'll find situations like that.
I'm gonna take you down, you son of a bitch!
It's not even a company that has anything to do with that movie. It's just there are these vulture companies out there that try doing that.
Really?
Yeah, that try to scam like
and just claim it.
Exploitation or public domain movies like that. So, usually with us, even if, like you said, when it comes in waves, even if we fight a lot and win, it will come in waves, but whenever it does, more often than not, it should tell you where the actual clip in question is. Sometimes you can just snip enough of it out and it'll grow through fine. Lately, the headache that's been happening lately is a lot of these music companies. Like I just did an episode on Gotti, the John Travolta movie, and that guy hit with some random thing, with a random song that I don't even know if it was in the movie. There's a lot of music in that movie, and this is one where I'm like, could they have picked something else? It's like if it was Walk Like an Egyptian, I'd know where that is in the movie. But this was just some random thing. I'm like, I don't even know if that's part of this movie, and it didn't even list a time code. So like, this tells me nothing. So sometimes you just kind of have to wait it out for the 30 days. If you've been doing it long enough, you know what companies are really easy to work with, ones that might be kind of iffy, or how long or short to make your clips, and where to kind of trim it a little if they give you the time code. A lot of that happens with a lot of our archive videos too, that were edited back in the blip days. So you just kind of get used to it over time. Certain parts of the year.
You have to get used to it, but you know.
When you do though, at least you kind of get an idea of
like the feel and stuff like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You get more experience with it.
Look out for the
another question here.
I know, right? Yeah.
Let's do who haven't I heard from you? Blonde hair right there.
So along the line,
Speak a little louder, I'm so sorry.
So what's the process of making the new ads?
Well, what's the process of making the ad, the sponsorship ads? Oh, you're gonna love this answer. Yeah, it's very underwhelming. I usually get them like maybe a day or two before it's supposed to go up, so I put like no thought into them whatsoever. I just go with whatever is on the top of my head, because they say, 9 out of 10, they say, we want you to do what you do. We want you to do what keeps your audience coming back. Just hit these bullet points. Say this about our product and talk about how you benefited from it and stuff like that. And then they'll give you like, a sample of the product or something like that, or, using it and stuff. And sometimes you have to get it really ahead of time so you can actually use the product and you can talk about it. But yeah, a lot of times it's just like, oh man, I don't know. And I'm like, what am I going to do today? Well, I guess, was it stamps.com? My stamp, who's the lover, I'm cheating on her because I'm going to stamps.com and she has a phone there and I come in laughing, ha 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 ha, oh no! And the stamps, and you know what, I don't want to do another voice, I'm just going to be a robotic voice. Honey, why did you leave me? I'll tell you why I left you. No, yes!
And then, for no reason, shots of Doug's cat.
Yeah, somehow.
That's a great outlet for Chaplin.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's just kind of improvised. I have the sheet that has the bullet points. I'm like, okay, I just know I have to work these in somehow, and it's just kind of made up. And people love them. They say like they're some of the only sponsorships they don't skip because we actually make them funny and weird and have fun with them. So yeah, they are fun to do. And I find like I always panic before I do them because I'm like, I have no idea what to do, but that usually results in the best stuff because I just go totally insane. When I don't know, I've told Uncle Darren this all the time, when I don't know what to do or I have writer's block or something, I just go totally nuts. And that usually gets a laugh.
Well, and often I'll watch the review and text you and be like, that was a great review, but that ad though, amazing.
Yeah, so it's weirdly underwhelming.
Not knowing what you're doing and then going totally nuts is what we refer to in the industry as the was-so method.
Yes. So we know we're doing this. Cool. Let's do let's do a great shirt right there.
Is it possible for the Ask That Guy from the skit never come back?
I feel like Ask That Guy has come back with Uncle Lies and Aunt Despair.
Yeah, they're like the unofficial inheritors of the Ask That Guy tradition.
Yeah. No, I got rid of that because I was just running out of answers. I'm like, all right, that's another one. Honestly, I never thought about them. I just said whatever was at the top of my head, and people liked them. But even I'm like, it's getting a little repetitive. I think I'm kind of done with this. But I will say, there's a part of me that wonders if they can even fly now.
I was to say the environment's a little different
humor
now than it was back when we started.
Whether for better or worse or both. Like things in one respect have gotten a lot more raunchy and shocky, in another respect have gotten a lot more PC and sensitive and stuff. So it's
there's
like
a lot of shock value to Ask That Guy, and that sure would fly as well.
Yeah, or how do I put it? Again, whatever side you're on, I don't know how many would know it's a joke too, so it's like, whether it's like, I'm offended because you're saying this, or, it's great that you're saying that. It's like, no, you're supposed to be offended, but you're not supposed to like that.
Why so serious?
Yeah, so I don't know. I haven't had a passion to do it again, but I feel like I still kind of get it out in that character, the Uncle Lies and Aunt
Yeah,
Despair.
because those two are horrible human beings. I feel like they're very much like Ask That Guy.
Yeah. So probably not, but we'll see what happens, and they'll bring it back or something. See, yes?
Is there any if they were to make a live action edition of any Disney film, what would you want to see the most?
If they were to make another live action Disney film, what would I want to see? I heard they're making, and I'm kind of okay with it, though I don't know how good it's going to be. I'm kind of down for them doing Hunchback. Because I love that movie, but it has problems. And I love to see them fixed. And they did a fantastic Broadway one that's like kind of a hard R, honestly. And it's still the same songs, and the same people wrote the songs, and they improve on them, and it has, it's much more like the book, and it's a downer ending, and I'm like, this would be great as a movie, it's never gonna happen. I honestly think it'd be cool if they got someone that actually was like, had like a deformity or something like that on their face. There's a movie called oh, I forget, it's something like Inner Skin or something like that, or Skin Deep with Scarlett Johansson. And there's a guy in there who gets in the car and he has this deformity, it's just this amazing looking face, and he's an actor. And I'm thinking, like, have that dude be the Hunchback would be so cool. I don't know, I think that'd be an interesting one.
I gotta go with Home on the Range, because Roseanne's had a rough year. Honestly, I think a really good one that flew under the radar and I thought was an amazing movie, very funny and very adventurous, and is kind of made for what Disney I think could do with like kind of a steampunk aesthetic, would be Atlantis. I thought as a live action movie, like I would kill to see that as a live action movie. I'm like, yeah, flesh it out more. Like my only problem with Atlantis, it was mercifully short to a point where I'm like, I kind of wanted more of it. I thought it kind of went too quick, so I'd see that. Yeah, the whole greed story could have been punched up a little too. It's just very like rote, like, we're gonna sell it to the Kaiser.
Or even, I mean, do Black Cauldron, but really follow the books and give like.
Black Cauldron, hell yeah, do a live action of that.
Yeah.
The Treasure Planet. Like, taking ones like that, like Hunchback, as great as Hunchback is, I love the movie. You're right, like, I mean, it makes sense to do a remake of that.
Full furry suit Treasure Planet?
No, that'll be the Robin Hood remake.
So, Malcolm, say Robin Hood.
Yeah, Robin Hood. I mean, no, honestly, I want to see what they're going to do with Mulan.
Mulan could be interesting.
Yeah, it could be interesting. Like, a more, like, just like...
I want Eddie Murphy back.
The war, like, the action... Because I heard this one isn't going to necessarily have the songs, but you know that was never really my main draw when it came to like the Disney movies. I was there for like the story of the characters. I was that weird kid. I mean, I like the songs okay, but I was like, let me see what these guys are going to do next. But I would like to see Robin Hood the more I think about it. That'd be cool. Yeah.
Like a CG Robin Hood. I'm sorry, a live action, like a live action Lion King.
Yeah. I mean, if they brought in like prosthetics, I don't know.
Like fantastic
like practical effects.
Rescue Rangers, the movie, and it's like Mission Impossible.
You've never seen me very upset.
You know, it amazes me. I think back that Lewis Carroll wrote Alice in Wonderland, and then the British film people in the 40s did a number of Alice movies. Then Disney does a cartoon on Alice. Then television does an Alice in Wonderland with Whoopi Goldberg as the Cheshire Cat, I believe, in there. And then Tim Burton does an Alice. You know, I mean,
you talked about that one.
I know, but the point is, it's like it keeps coming this complete circle, and then we'll go around again, and maybe we'll have another animated one.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, there's a lot of things they leave out, but the animated Disney one probably the best so far. I mean, even though there's a lot they leave out, but it's like, yeah, it seems like it's the closest in spirit.
I want to see a historically accurate Pocahontas from Walt Disney.
How about you, Tim?
No.
Oh, Atlantis. Okay.
You said Pocahontas. Oh no.
Let's get some history in there.
Wabu, the cheeky raccoon, and then...
No, do a crossover. Throw Rocket Raccoon in there. Let's get Marvel and Disney back together again.
Give Bill Gibson back. That would go great.
This is turning into like something out of The Producers.
Yeah. Where did I go right? Cool. Another question. As to pictures.
I've got two for Brad. Whenever you flip your hat around, I feel like I'm watching Kevin Smith.
Oh.
Mannerisms, and after he lost weight, yeah.
We do look a little bit alike now. Like whenever,
I'm watching him again.
since he's dropped all the weight and everything, when he pops up on a talk show or some like premiere event or something like that, I usually get tagged in it. I look at it and I'm like, yeah, actually, we do look a little bit alike right now. Maybe I should start wearing like hockey jerseys or something.
And then the question was from Malcolm. I know you wear the... Yeah, I was wondering if you were an acolyte.
Oh, wait, one more time? I'm sorry, what was the question?
The necklace, I guess.
These beads, yes. The beads, man.
I didn't want to call the wrong thing.
Are you an acolyte? Is that what you asked?
An acolyte, no, we were watching Phoenix Right last night. And someone had something like that in there, and it was an acolyte, so I was like, I don't know, because I've never seen you in person.
Well, I don't know what that is, but no, it's fine.
So no.
Oh, yeah.
But basically I wear the beads because I am a dancer as a hobbyist, and a lot of my favorite dancers that I admire and aspire to be like, they wear like a lot of like, you know, like prayer beads, like either like Buddhist prayer beads or like African prayer beads, and you know, it just looks cool to me. And it also makes me feel a little more like rooted in my heritage. These are African prayer beads, so yeah, I like the drip, so I had to, you know.
I just thought it was something for the channel, so whenever I saw you yesterday and you were wearing it, I was like, if I get a chance, I'm going to ask him about that.
He just likes it. Those beads have a long and storied history. They get him more attention than any, like wherever we go, like we've had waiters, we've had total strangers. It's like, what's up with the beads, man? I gotta know. But they like love it. They're like, wow, cool. Like they're just drawn to them. Like it's like Illuminati of beads or something. I don't know. We went to a Chinese restaurant in downtown Chicago, Lao Sichuan, and the guy who's kind of like the bouncer there or whatever, like came up. He's like, do you know what these beads are? And was trying to explain the cultural significance of them to Malcolm, and then started whipping out like these giant Chinese like axes and swords and showing off in the middle of the restaurant. In the middle of the restaurant. And he was so impressed about it. He's like, no, I show you. And this like super thick accent. He had this growly voice, and I just like, dude, you are not allowed to come to this restaurant without us again. That was amazing.
It was like
Andre Meadows was with the blade, and the blade was this far away from me. He's just going, he's like Andre Meadows.
It was like a samurai delicatessen sketch from Saturday Night Live.
Everyone just goes quiet. He's like, and he throws it up, catches it, spins it around and stuff. And while people are eating, and they're just like, I can't make this up. He is shouting this dude. And then he like points at him and he's like, you right? And like, that was awesome. No, don't you remember? He stops because everyone's quiet. He stops and he says, everybody say good. And everyone went good. And he went, oh, thank you. Oh, thank you.
There's pictures of it on our Instagram.
Yeah, they got pictures of it. Yeah. It's amazing, and it's because of the beads. It's all the beads. Love the beads. So yeah, that sadly is the last question we can do here. But we're gonna go back to our booth for
the last question.
Yes. That's a good question. How are the beads? But we are gonna go back to our booth, but not for too long because we have to head out shortly after. So if you wanted something signed or wanted to give to the charity or just wanted to say hi, anything like that, please come on down. We'd love to see you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good night, Springfield. There will be no encores.